This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Primiano.
And I'm Dan D'Aprile, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news. Oh my God. Hi.
Hello, America.
Welcome to our live coverage of the death of the American democratic experiment.
I mean, hey, it's still early in the game. It's 28-3, right? Like the Falcons-Patriots game?
Yeah.
Or something close. Okay, it's not exactly 28-3, but that's a number that should live on in infamy.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, yeah, that. Who cares, though? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna.
Yeah, who cares? It's just,
I'm gonna
just
wake
the,
up
you know, the
tomorrow
U.S. election
and
that affects
I'll
the
be
entire
me
world.
again. We got guests.
We have guests. That's what I'm really excited about. Not this fucking little election that's happening. I'm excited for our guests.
Just went up again.
Do you want to introduce us?
Yeah. Let's do this. All right. Normally, the episodes where we have two guests at a time are disastrous.
Yes.
But when you have two comics that carpool so well together, you got to get them, right? Oh, man.
That's right. Not just expert poll watchers. We have expert poll smokers here in the studio.
What? Why did you make it a gay thing? I said they drive together.
Oh, Dave's Jewish, so his people train pool together.
Oh, that's right. Pack them in. So that was that anti-Semitic rhetoric you just heard was VJ Preziosi. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't make Holocaust jokes. I know they're in poor taste. I know it's a bad event because we didn't get all of them. But it is what it is.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I like
boy.
to start off strong.
That's right. You're currently going viral for a 9/11
Yeah,
joke.
let's do the
That's
other guy,
true.
too. Dan Caprio. He's back from, which I just found out, California. I knew he moved.
You knew that?
No.
Oh, did you actually know that? Yeah, you've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
That's Dave's nice way of saying you don't leave much of an impact.
No, it's not you. It's anybody that's not in my direct eye line is
Anyone
not
that's not me.
thought
Yeah.
about. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I took a week off the podcast. I had to reintroduce myself to him. So,
No, I saw you in that week.
yeah, that's
It's good to be back. I as soon as I got off the plane, I smelled. I missed the smell of. I don't know what it is. But,
urine.
Newer. Yeah, I mean that's part of it. But
Fentanyl.
it's like a smog kind of
They don't-
mixing with urine.
It's a heady mix.
They don't pee. There's plenty of pollution in California and pee.
I don't know. It just
It's
feels
different.
fresher.
It's vegan
It's
urine.
vegan?
So
Oh.
you just smell asparagus.
It's a dry pee. That's
The smell of
Wait.
asparagus and failed acting careers in the air.
yeah.
I mean, they say asparagus is for the worst smelling pee, but is there like what does the doctor recommend if you want the best smelling pee? I've
You
heard
be-
about cum,
You
but
be
I haven't heard about
diabetic.
pee.
You ever hear the story of Patrice O'Neill, how he found out he was diabetic? He peed on a girl because she was into that, and she was like, "Man, your piss smell like birthday cake," and that's how he knew he needed to call his doctor.
Yeah.
Wait, but so if your pee smells good, that's bad.
Yeah,
If
basically.
it smells like fruity, then you have
My
diabetes.
piss has been smelling like Carvel cakes. I should probably go to the doctor. I gotta wait till my health insurance kicks in out there.
yeah, you're gonna get diagnosed
Yeah.
with cookie puss.
But there's not like a direct because like pineapple and Swedish fish apparently affect your cum.
I didn't hear of Swedish fish.
Yeah, I didn't
I
know
never-
about that.
Swedish
Of course,
fish
the
and
Jew knows about fish. Go on, Dave.
I know it spreads on a nice
How about
on a
Swedish
nice
fish
call-up
flavored
bread.
C4 energy drink?
Oh God, that sounds absolutely awful.
Yeah, I imagine that makes you taste like battery acid or something.
I've had the Swedish fish. Have you had the Swedish fish ghost cans?
No, not yet.
No, those are really good. They make you feel like a kid in the candy store at the gym. It's a good time.
What's a
That's
good
an
And this
energy
episode of the
drink?
podcast is sponsored by Ghost Energy Drink. All right.
No, we're not big enough for sponsors.
No,
And
this
I-
episode
yeah.
is sponsored
I
by
don't
a hug from your dad.
I don't think an energy drink would have us as the faces
Yeah.
or the stomachs
Yeah,
or
we don't have
or
wings.
the tits.
We don't have
Yeah.
wings. We might not even have feet after a few years.
After a few years, just wait a couple hours.
Is that the result of the
That's
election?
it. We're gonna lose our feet.
I bet my foot Kamala's gonna win.
I'm telling you, I said it before, I said it off air, I'll say it again. Jimmy Carter, he's eligible for a second term. Let's put my boy in. We need more peanuts in the White House. That's what I say. Because you know what? I'm sick of kids with nut allergies, and I feel like we have a president who's just going to suffocate all of them to death with peanuts. That's my candidate.
Okay, and it kind of ties in because Peanut the squirrel, rest in peace, is taking over the internet. If you know about Peanut,
I do not know about Peanut. What is Peanut? the squirrel?
Peanut is a squirrel that was rescued and was like a viral sensation in New York. But you can't own a squirrel in New York without a license, and they couldn't release the squirrel into the wild because it had only been raised around humans. So when they went to take the squirrel away, it bit the person that was taking it away.
Ooh,
and then New York State
put-
was like, well, then we have to test it for rabies. And this is true. The only way they can test an animal for rabies is by cutting its head off. So they had to kill
So what's the point?
Peanut. Yeah, they had to kill. Well, they're not testing to see if to save it. They're testing it to see if like the bite,
Okay.
gave the other guy.
wait,
My
rabies.
dad was bit by a squirrel before. Rabies is no joke. So,
Really?
Yeah. So he didn't have rabies, and
That's how you were conceived.
All
You
this
just
time,
frothed all over your mom.
that explains a lot of my material, and explains why I voted for Harambe for a third time in a row.
I mean, all this time I thought the cartel was a terrorist organization, but now I just know they're making sure people don't have rabies. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
They're actually doing a service. Open our borders. Give me Kamala right now.
So wait, that's dogs and cats too. You got to behead a dog or a cat to find out too.
I'm not sure. They
so
just
those
said-
Haitians.
I was
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I'll see if I'm up in Ohio.
That's right.
Who euthanized a squirrel? A hardcore liberal or a cuck conservative?
Yeah, usually it's the other way around. I like it. You get the conservative, the cuck.
There's the
angle.
I'll play
yeah.
devil's advocate. It could go either way on this one.
I don't know, it's not looking like either way right now.
Well, it's way too early to call anything. It's just the way it always goes. They
Well,
just
the
call
squirrel,
the.
squirrel might be doing something to this election now.
That's right. You
I
might.
mean,
You might.
It's
be right.
late in the game.
I mean, you might be right. It's a little too early because Texas being that blue seems
It's
a little,
no way.
What's a little,
Yeah,
little
it's no
sus,
way.
little
Peanut.
sussy wussy.
Peanut is the P apostrophe.
no, there's
Yes.
no apostrophe.
Oh yeah, it's P apostrophe nut.
What is it in Funkadelic?
I didn't know about the squirrel. I see. It was like a well-trained squirrel, what it
Yeah.
looked like, which made it sadder that he's dead. Because you could just be a kid that just goes down the street snapping squirrel necks
Yeah, well, that's
all
why.
day long.
That's why the story sucks because Peanut was fine living where he was living, but it's just like the state was like, yeah, you can't keep him, and they couldn't release him. And then
I
he
did
bit
see the
somebody.
picture of the woman that called the authorities on, and she looked exactly like somebody that would call the authorities
Yeah.
on their neighbor
a
having a
squirrel.
pet squirrel.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the type of woman who would also say things like, "Do you have a permit for this cookout?" or stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh, definitely.
totally.
You know, I actually had a pet squirrel back
Of
in like.
course you did.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
well, my family's horrific white trash. A squirrel raped another squirrel in our chimney because I refuse to believe that
How
squirrel
can you
sex
tell?
squirrel sex isn't consensual
Okay.
by any means. But I love that.
There's never been consensual squirrel sex
I don't
in
believe
your
it.
opinion.
And I you know what? I know this is a hardcore stance, but as a libtard cuck myself, I need to fucking make a stand right now. Unlike our cowardly leader Kamala, who is going to be a brilliant president. But
Wow, you're just a cover. You're doing the weave right now. You're covering everything.
He's about to say something racist, I feel
Yes,
like.
I agree.
I would never.
That's part. I thought that was part of the weave. You kind of bob, you weave,
Yeah.
and then you end up saying something racist.
They're all but Kamala.
Kamala's weave looks great, but we used to have we used to have a squirrel, and I'm great at segues. We used to have a squirrel, and yeah, they're little assholes actually.
Yeah.
When it was a baby, it was cool, but then they once they start like actually trading those teeth, those fuckers they hunt you.
Yeah.
Like my stepdad would keep it in his room, and when I was losing weight, he had the scale in there, so I just used the scale for a second. That squirrel would fucking sit on the top of his shelves like Batman scouting out Gotham City, and it would lunge at me all the fucking time.
Damn.
Dude, I had to weigh myself real quick, see like, oh my god, the apple cider vinegar's working, and then I had to run immediately out of the room because some fucking foaming squirrels after me. They're little assholes, and I feel nothing when a squirrel dies now.
Well, I'm
So,
glad Peanuts.
Okay, so wait, let's get back to the.
Well, why are people so upset? Like, why is it political?
Well, because it happened in New York, so
Everything's political in New York.
yeah. So
So
that
the Federal Wildlife Reserve has to come in and kill the animal, and that's appointed by whoever's currently in charge.
I mean, we should just get these Haitians to be killing these squirrels. I feel
that's
like,
right. You could hit two
I
birds with
know.
one stone. You could feed some
Don't
families.
waste-
Squirrels who run around.
Yeah. So wait, was your pet's? You mentioned squirrel rape
yeah.
episode title, obviously.
That'll get us.
So was your
Won't get us
squirrel the
buried by the
raper
other.
or the rapee? Or both?
It was the rape baby of the mother squirrel. I guess just couldn't take the grief and left.
Absent mother.
Yeah, absent
So
mother.
postpartum squirrel.
She abandoned that squirrel in
Okay.
the chimney like a prom night Dunster baby, and we raised it. We didn't. I don't think we raised it well because it had definitely some angst the way it was fucking biting us all the time. But
Yeah.
At least it wasn't raping you.
No. That's usually my position. But it lived to the ripe old age of 6 before it left.
Is that old for a squirrel?
I genuinely don't have any idea. It's old for a squirrel in a white trash house. I'd say that's a ripe old age.
Any animal living to be 6 or 8 in a white trash house.
Do we have an age on Peanut when it passed?
No, I'm not sure.
I don't think it passed. I think it was murder.
Yeah. Speaking of dumpster baby, that's how they did it.
Beheaded?
Just twisted the head right
I
off.
think that was a hit. That doesn't sound like passed away.
When Cuomo got
Well, yeah,
hold
but
of
when
it?
the government
So he put it into a retirement home, and it just bit a bunch
when
of
the
people.
government kills people, it's passed away, right?
Yeah.
Hillary never killed anyone.
No.
They all
Shout out to
passed
Jeffrey
away.
Epstein, friend of the show.
Yeah.
man.
Passed away.
Yeah, don't bring her up today. Of all days, don't bring her up. I don't want to hear about her.
Well, at least she's got my vote.
She's due.
Did you vote for her back in 2016?
Unfortunately, I didn't want to. That was the only person I think I've ever voted for where I really didn't want to.
You were with her.
I was with her. Yeah,
Reluctantly.
I was with her. It was the one vote that I wasn't happy
I
about.
can see the shame in your.
I didn't like it. I mean, I'm happy to vote for Harris. I voted for Harris. I'm happy to do that. I was happy to vote for Biden. In fact, Biden's my boy. I'll go to die for Biden.
He won't remember.
No, he won't. That's why I love him. He's my demented grandpa who doesn't remember to love me, much like my regular grandpa. But yeah, Hillary was the only time where I voted, and I was like, I hate this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah.
Your options that year were quite
Bad.
yeah.
They're still bad, but they're just not Hillary Clinton bad.
That's not true. I don't think our options this year are particularly bad. In fact,
He's running. Here he comes,
Hold on.
announcing his
Wait,
candidacy.
if you wrote news jokes too, we save them for the end.
I'd like this on the record. I really did think about voting for my good friend Richard Dweck. What the heck with Richard Dweck on Spotify right now? Latest-
man, yeah, we talked about him, and no discouraging words were uttered about.
None.
No,
Not
we,
one.
we are all.
I want him to be president
No
of our country.
disrespect.
I want to hold him in my lap and pet him like a pet squirrel.
If Rich got rabies, I don't know what he'd do.
I wouldn't give him a squirrel. I feel like he would break it. He might pet it too
It'd be a
aggressively.
Lenny.
Yeah, and for our viewers watching at home, Richard Dweck, funny comedian. He runs a podcast that I never thought was going to get plugged on this show.
you booked Dan Caprio for our podcast. Of course, Richard.
I'm
Dweck's
gonna
podcast
plug
is
that
getting
one.
It's a good. We've all been on it, I believe. So
what do you guys think about Biden calling half of the country trash?
Accurate.
yeah,
It's on brand.
right.
I mean, yeah.
A little underestimating it by saying just half.
I think that's probably the most non-senile thing he said in many years. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a no-brainer. You ever been to Cleveland?
Yes.
It's all trash.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
I
Yeah.
didn't see the apostrophe in that sentence either. I don't know what CNN.
Oh, the supporters. Yeah.
Oh, because I read the transcript. I didn't actually hear it. I read the transcript, and it did make it seem like he was just talking about Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh no,
But then
he didn't know who
yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe was.
I mean, Trump said he didn't either.
Yeah, which we were talking about that last week. Is just the fucking best.
No, but Trump actually is like, I don't know. I never heard of him before. I don't want to hear of him.
Yeah, threw him under the bus.
Yeah, he walked that back big time.
Yeah.
Look, we've all had bad sets, but I mean,
Never swung American history.
you got to know your audience. As cliche as that is,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
think he knew his audience.
Yeah.
He talked bad about Puerto Rico. That's kind of
All right.
Yeah, those fucking island Mexicans. He threw them under the bus, and I think the Trump crowd really liked that. I don't know.
I think
they stayed silent, but they stayed silent in a way that a lot of my audiences have stayed silent, where people have approached me afterward and said,
I really
just so
like
you know, I thought that was funny, but I didn't want to get
Well, they-
judged for laughing.
They stayed silent like black folks at a slam poetry thing where they just go, mm-hmm.
they were snapping.
Yeah.
The crowd was snapping a lot.
Preach, Daddy Tony, preach.
I don't think the Trump crowd's a
I
snap.
want to.
No.
I want to say this.
Usually just at waiters.
and I'm doing a comedy set at a poetry event on Saturday.
Really?
If I hear snapping, I'm going to address it. I can't stand hearing snapping shows. I don't know where
That'll
it
make
came.
him
Where did
snap.
that come from? Where did this come from as a validation of
'cause
like we
the-
like this?
Because the college pussies are like, Clapping is too
Clapping is
aggressive.
violence. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one hand slapping the other.
All right. So you were like, hey guys, I'm going to be home from here for this time till this time. And the best you got offered for a Saturday was a slam poetry show.
I'm going to be doing a slam set. Then I'm going to be doing my clean set. that I've been
Oh,
working on.
okay.
Yeah.
Dan's gonna get up more in this week than he has in a whole year in California.
Wait, where
feel
in
good.
California? Are you in LA or?
No, everybody has that. I'm about 8 hours from LA. I live Bay Area adjacent. I'm
Oakland.
close to San Francisco. Close.
That's
I can
Oakland.
smell
Yeah,
it.
he's Oaktown.
I can smell Oakland too.
Yeah, I would-
Oakland Airport. I will say I love Oakland
It
Airport.
smells good.
It does smell good at
'cause
Oakland.
it's the quickest way out of Oakland.
Yeah.
You could get out. Yeah. No, the flights there are very.
It's all that
very
Hennessy
fluid.
at the duty-free store.
Like, call me the Raiders because I'm fucking out of Oakland.
I am a certified chauffeur.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
Luxury chauffeur driver.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Do you have the hat? Do you put a hat on?
I could wear a hat, but I choose to do my hair.
You're
real
only
nice.
8 hours away
okay.
from LA. So
Yeah.
you're right where you need to be.
Little finger on the pulse right there.
Just say you're a getaway car driver.
I'm gonna turn into Ryan Gosling from Drive by
Yeah.
the end of my career.
Autistic.
I would have to say, I don't-
Stomp a guy in an elevator.
Now to acid you do, you're probably Ryan Gosling in La La Land, honestly.
Is that better or worse?
I don't know. But
Because
he's
the
fucking-
drive,
he gets
dri-
to fuck
was-
Emma Stone, that's something.
he's
I
fucked
like
Emma
Drive.
Stone in like 8 movies.
Has he?
3 movies they've been in together. They've what? Crazy Stupid Love,
Oh, see, I
which
didn't
was
see
better,
that.
way better than fucking La La Land. That
Uh,
movie was shit.
La La Land was
Yeah,
a
La
fun
La.
movie to watch Hollywood jerk itself off for 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
I was so glad when they fucking called that name and then were like, nope, never mind.
No, sorry,
It's
wait.
It's the gay black guy story. Obviously, who else is going to win the Oscar?
Although it was a coin flip between the gay black guy story and Hollywood sucking each other off. You know, it's like that was a 50-50 shot. If I was put in, I didn't remember what the hell I just read because I was a demented old man, I would also go, the one where Hollywood acts like it's the most important thing to ever happen in the fucking world. That one.
Did you see the gay black guy movie though?
No,
I did after.
Powerful,
Yeah.
powerful.
Power bottoms, right.
Oh, yes.
I've just been watching a really good year for horror movies, and if you're a Godzilla fan,
Yes, great Godzilla movies out. Yeah.
Wait, -1 was last year. Are you talking?
Oh, was it? I thought that was this year. I thought
well,
it
they
was early
brought
this
it back
year.
in black and white this year.
Oh, does that count as horror though? I guess
Some
Yeah.
horrific scenes.
A little bit.
They're making a sequel to that movie,
I
and they're
saw
also making another Godzilla and Kong movie.
Really?
Another.
Wow.
I mean that's it's whole MCU now, right? Like Godzilla, like
The
the monsters are
Monsterverse.
doing their own shit.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm on a podcast with 14-year-olds.
I like the Monsterverse.
well, you are in a PlayStation shirt.
Yeah,
so.
well, it's
Yeah.
it's PlayStation. Get it right, you fucking round eye.
For the record, I never watched an American Godzilla movie. Meh.
You don't want to watch Matthew Broderick pretend to act for 2 hours?
Yeah.
That fucking awful Roman, whatever the fuck his name. I refuse to learn his gay name.
The song by Diddy. That was a great song by Puff
Shout out
Daddy
to Diddy,
there.
also friend
Yeah.
of the podcast.
Wait, who's the gay name in the Matthew Broderick movie?
Jean Reno?
No, it's
Roland Emmerich.
Roland Emmerich.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Guy did Independence Day, and what was the other one?
And the
Stargate.
Independence Day sequel, which
I missed that one,
don't,
thank
don't
God.
watch.
Why would you bother? The fucking first Independence Day wasn't any good.
Speaking of Independence Day, we have news about a real American hero.
Oh,
Actually, the man.
Great segue. Great
Yeah,
segue.
isn't that great? Thank you.
This guy was in Independence Day?
No, well, no.
You're fucking Dawson
This
from
guy,
Central.
this guy, Robert J. O'Neill, he is the man who allegedly was the man who shot and killed Osama bin Laden.
They don't know who did it?
well,
he
they didn't release that information. It was
Did
like,
he have rabies?
but he came out.
It's been enough time.
Well, he came out and said that he did. So he came out and said, "I'm the guy that pulled the trigger."
That, and they're not going to be like, yeah, oh yeah, we found him.
They didn't
somewhere.
back
Look, we
him up.
all shot a brown bearded guy. we just split the Bin Laden death like a pie. We'll all shoot a different Indian.
See, so it says even in that picture,
That's the
killed
same
in
guy?
quotes. Yeah, it was a while. They killed Bin Laden a long time ago.
Yeah,
So,
during Obama's presidency.
yeah, we all are a little bit more out of shape.
That's Obama on the left. That's his.
That is
that's
Obama
his
on the
cuck
left, yes.
phase, and now on the right, that's his gung ho phase.
Yes, that's right. So this guy is a MAGA Republican, and he got
In both
triggered.
pictures?
probably both. Probably both, yeah. And
you put on the button ups, all of a sudden, oh my god!
for
I feel
sure
like
in the left
the
one.
abortions.
Yeah, for sure on the left he's MAGA. Look at him. It looks like he's about to I don't know, yell at a
He's
black
wearing
waiter.
a
For people,
shirt.
sorry, for people at home, you want to hit him? Yeah, we're looking at the picture of the guy. He's in uniform. Right.
Well, there's
Yes.
side
He's
by
in,
side
he's in
picture.
uniform.
They
Side
have
by
side
side
picture. He's in uniform
One
in
looks
one
like
of
his
them.
driver's license, and the
Yeah,
other
he's
one.
got the Midwest driver's license.
The other
Yeah,
thing-
the other photo looks like it's Megan's Law profile photo. Have you seen this?
Yeah. The one is like the last thing Bin Laden saw. The one on the left is the last thing like Britney saw.
The last one his kids saw before they took him away.
You're gonna have a new neighbor soon. This guy.
Yeah.
Hey, fun fact: this guy shot Bin Laden, but don't put him around your kids.
Yeah, well, especially not if your kid's a young twink, because Robert J. O'Neill got so triggered by a tweet from a bunch of Gen Z Kamala Harris voters that he tweeted out. They said, "We're all Gen Z voters, and we proudly voted for Kamala Harris. Real men support Harris." To which, Robert J. O'Neill, again, the man who shot Osama bin Laden, said, "Quote: You're not men, you're boys. If there was no social media, you would be my concubines."
That's not the only thing he tweeted. He
No.
tweeted
It's a
another one he
mixed
took
message
down.
right
Yeah,
He took another one down that said, and I will only be able to generalize this one,
Some sexual.
but he said that these boys were only good for two things. They said people laughed at him because they were like, surely you must mean something other than concubines,
yeah.
because that's like a word for sex slaves. And he said,
He
no,
did mean more
a
than that.
biblical word
he
for
doubled.
sex
That's
slaves.
true. He doubled down. He said, no, boys like that are only good for two things: sex and eating.
Do you know where this comes from? Do you know any vets who are like this?
No,
I do.
really?
Yeah. What happens is because they go over there, they see the T-boys. There's a lot of corruption. A lot of the older people that are installed with some of the tribes there, right? And they came to this big head with a lot of the higher ups in the military because they wanted the T-boys to stop. The T-boys are the young boys that are usually brought into these circles that are used for sex because
okay.
it's not
They're
not
concubines.
illegal to do, like
Yeah.
concubines. And then what they do is they're so fucked up from all the shit they saw over there. They come back over here and then they put it on young people here. They're always
Right.
like, "You would be fucking." It's like people yelling, "Yeah, you'd be
What
fucking boys over there." That's what
does
you
T
do.
stand for?
The T. Oh, it's just because the boys run T to the tents.
Like
See,
They run.
PA.
Yeah.
My perverted Pornhub brain immediately went to Thailand.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Lady
Right.
boys.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? These are some feminine looking boys in this photo.
This could be like a car full of drag queens or something like that. I would believe that, but
Yeah,
no.
they're dragging all the back of this
If you
dude's
were
car.
ranking concubine boys, Taiwan, whatever
could do-
Thailand would be number one on Rank
Sure.
Bank episode.
I mean, if you had,
That hasn't come out yet. That's Patreon.
Right.
Yeah.
The best
I mean-
rank, the best country for T-boys.
if this guy put these kids in his concubine, you could say he's a creep and a pedophile, but you couldn't say he had bad taste. That's
No.
kind of my takeaway. From
If you were
this.
putting together a harem of young nubile boys, I think this car is clearly one of the ones you would want to get.
You're
Yeah,
saying
I know.
people aren't liking this guy's tweets about this.
Yeah, it's so strange, right?
They don't like
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
They don't like him, Danny.
They
A
look
lot
like
more
they,
comments than likes is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
they
Yeah,
look
the
like they
ratio.
could be the next One Direction after all those guys fly off balconies
I
or
was about to
whatever.
say, here they're down, remember?
Which one do you think is the one that goes in a drug rage launch off?
I mean,
of
that
a
one in the
sixth floor or
middle
whatever?
looks
Jonathan Taylor
yeah.
Thomas. Yeah.
That
for
one in the
sure.
middle looks like fucking Harry Styles,
With the
right?
power
Okay, well,
stance.
Yeah.
you got one. So everyone has one star, one gay dude, and one dude that goes on a drug-filled romp off a few stories.
The guy on the left
It's
or the
fun to
right is
guess.
already a star
Yeah.
because he's like a debate bro. I recognize him. He had he was on one of those jubilees where it's like 50 Trump supporters versus one Democrat.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he's, I
Shouldn't
guess, the closest
So
thing you
he's
have to your
Timberlake?
star.
Shouldn't
Correct.
that one in the back be solving a Rubik's Cube somewhere? Why is he voting?
Well, they have to have there's always an ethnic one too in each of these boy
He looks like
bands.
Cal Young Fat's son.
he should be having a cello lesson somewhere. Why is he voting? He's got better things to do with his time, young man. Get
Well, that
back to
would
your
mean, yeah.
calculator.
There's always one guy with actual musical talent too that never gets the spotlight. So that would probably be that one and the ethnic one.
I mean, that
all
one
wrapped
really,
into one.
that one on the second from the left really just looks like that fucking American Pie.
Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. I was thinking that.
Look-
Like, he's going home to fuck a pie.
he looks like Jason Biggs if he ran an ice cream truck.
They look like they're having fun voting all together in the same vehicle.
Is that a new thing? I never was
This is
like
just
that.
a wholesome activity.
Throwing
on your
out
end.
broing out the vote.
Yeah, I never bro out, vote out. I never.
They didn't plan that photo. That was spontaneous.
Right. They all just went
Of course
to vote.
they
And the
planned
hats that. Oh no! Don't wear a Harris hat. I'm
No,
wearing one. Today.
I would never wear a Harris hat.
Beige.
I'm wearing a Hiroshima hat. I would never wear a Harris hat.
These are like the 3 people in the world that would wear a fucking Harris hat.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking wearing Harris hats.
So they are now. I will give credit. 1 or 2 of them have now put in their Twitter bios that they want that the guy who killed Osama wants to fuck me, which I would also brag about.
Yeah, that's fair.
Honestly, I feel like you're like 1 degree separated from an American hero.
The enemy of my enemy.
I mean,
I also like the idea that the guy who pulled the trigger on America's greatest enemy is just like a twink hound. You know, like that's like, if I want an American to kill bin Laden, I would ideally want some kind of like transsexual, like they, them, just to like, because he would hate that the most. You know what I mean? Like a oil billionaire from America that's stolen a lot of oil from the Middle East, but it's also like a transsexual, queer, pansexual person.
At the same time.
At the same time, and then they kill bin Laden, and he has to look at them right in the eyes as he dies.
Wait, which one's
that would have been the best.
pansexual?
Pansexual is the new bisexual.
Yeah,
Don't ask me what the
okay.
difference is. I don't
Because
know.
I feel like a lot of them are bisexual. Like a lot of them are just bisexual, but with standards.
yeah, it's kind of.
No, well,
I'll say
like
this.
I think Pan goes in. I'm sorry, go ahead. Then Pan's just also they queer and transgender. They'd be open to.
But doesn't that go?
okay.
But doesn't that go against the idea that when you're transgender, you are just that opposite gender?
Right,
So
yeah,
that when
you
you're
wouldn't
bi, it still turns it into a binary thing, which
think-
goes against the pansexual thing.
Right.
I think
yeah.
it's different because like
Between-
not all trans people get all the surgeries.
Right.
Some of them are just like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
happy with what I
There's
got.
plenty that don't get the surgeries, but still will identify as the
That's
opposite
true.
gender.
But I think that depends on if they're saving up for it or not, because that's like super expensive and also seems like probably a lot.
I just checked out Wall's TED Talk. That's what I did. He gets
Oh,
ran through
does
the
he?
whole. No,
And
I'm
then you-
completely lying. I didn't go enough.
And
I
I
was-
would change what you identify as.
Yeah, well, right.
I don't care
trying
what
to
they
tie
identify
everything
as. I'm
neatly
coming
together.
either way.
Yeah, exactly.
You should talk to Robert J. O'Neill, the man who shot Osama bin Laden. He feels the same way.
I'd rather
He
talk
likes
to
unloading
Ed.
loads into either terrorists or young children, apparently, from that fucking tweet.
Speaking of larger people that should be able to beat up smaller people, Jason Kelsey.
I was just gonna say Jay Yoder's not on this podcast.
He's been here. He's been.
I'm evil Jay Yoder. I kind of.
So we've had 2 Philly athletes that could have beaten the shit out of other people
and
and restrained themselves.
Yeah.
What do you got? Like, okay, well, we could do it one by one. The guy that followed Jason Kelsey around and said, how do you feel about your brother being a faggot for dating Taylor Swift? And then Jason Kelsey just took his phone, threw it on the ground, then picked it up again. Then the guy
then picked
kind
it
of
up and
pushed him,
walked
and then
away.
he just tossed it. And then he yelled, "Who's the faggot now?"
Did he?
Several times. Jason Kelsey.
I
did.
missed that
But
part of
they
the
seem to be
clip.
okay with that usage.
That sentence is how I know you guys don't have sponsors.
I don't.
Well, the fun part was Neil's soft sigh. and
You're allowed
Dave
to say
reported.
words if you're quoting.
All right, I got some NWA lyrics I'm about to drop on you guys.
Which is okay. No.
My slam poetry is filthy.
What do you think, though? If Jason Kelsey just beat the shit out of this dude, that'd be okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Nobody
defending
cared.
His woman.
Right. Yeah. Or his brother's.
Brother's woman.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry, you expecting
well,
a lot of
soon to be
pushback
his-
on
soon to
this?
be his-
no, I feel like he will, if he hasn't apologized already, he'll have to.
He did.
Yeah, I was going to say, which is bullshit because nobody expects him to, other than maybe the guy whose phone got smashed. If you get into someone's face and you call their brother or their friend or whatever a slur, no matter what it is, you at least have free reign to grab their phone.
I would say, call me a couple more till I come, and then we're squaring up. That's kind of how I operate.
I didn't hear this because I respect apologies that I know aren't sincere.
Okay.
I love a good all right, I know what you're fucking doing. You got ESPN money.
You must love politicians.
Oh, yeah.
No. I was a big fan of January 6th because I love the idea of hanging one politician
Yeah,
a year.
I hate Mike
Like,
Pence.
it doesn't even have to be Mike Pence, even though I figured, why are Democrats getting so up in arms? Like that's
It could be any
their guy.
politician.
Yeah, if we all elect to if we vote to kill one politician a year, that means
They could have
they'll stay in line, right?
they could have dragged out John Kerry, and we'd all be like, "Who?"
Yeah,
And
be like,
then it
all
would-
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, make waves.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what people would be pissed. Yeah, if they tried to, hey, they'd be like, "Who is this guy?
They'd be like,
Hang somebody relevant."
yeah, get somebody with a better fucking haircut. This guy should not have fucking luscious locks like that at 70-something years old.
Well, who's got a good haircut in politics?
Oh,
Trump.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
that's
on.
no way! It's identifiable,
Yeah,
but it's
it's-
not good.
At this point,
Bernie
it's
Sanders.
Now, even him, his thing is that his hair's always messy.
I know. I like that.
I
I like
he's rolling
seeing
up
him
his
in
sleeves.
2020 on my Instagram timeline. The messier the hair,
Yeah.
the better my morning.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Mitt Romney.
Yeah,
Get that Mormon out of here.
Gavin
That was
Newsom.
coming.
Gavin
Oh
Newsom's got
man,
a
that
good
made
head
me
of hair.
angry.
Your governor, he's got a good head of hair.
Gavin
Holy
Newsom.
shit!
Oh,
Yeah.
he's got the American Psycho.
Yeah.
He's got the style.
Mitt
He's
Romney's got like that.
I don't like his policy, but
No, but
I
damn his
love
hairline.
haircut.
His hairline.
Mitt Romney's
hairline is strong.
I vote on the
Yeah,
hairline
I
alone.
love
Romney's got that like Cary Grant thing going on with his hair, where you're like, I forget how.
What kind of fucking old ass reference is that?
I like a lot of Hitchcock movies. All right, all right?
Hitchcock
Take
had a
that
good
to your
hairline.
fucking IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes page, David Primiano. You
They're all-
fucking hack. All right,
But
anyway.
all that they're all on IMDb. I don't know why you said it like he predates IMDb. Yeah,
Mitt
but
Romney's on IMDb.
You fucking Down
Yeah.
syndrome.
Yeah, he starred in that fake election.
You can catch Dan Caprio on Love on the Spectrum season 3. Coming to show.
I can't wait.
sorry, go on. You were saying about Cary Grant.
I like to keep my references topical.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, no, he had a good haircut. He's a good haircut. Mitt Romney's got that Cary Grant thing going on with his hair. Is what I was
Yeah,
getting at.
sure,
I know.
it's true.
Doesn't even get ruined by that magic hat he wears
Yeah,
or
I was-
whatever.
sorry, I was trying to smarten up this fucking podcast.
Vivek
He was-
Romney's
no,
got
do
the
that.
blowout kind of, like
Yeah.
the blow dryer.
Yeah,
look.
he's got that bad. That's real weird.
I used to have
haircut.
hair like that.
There isn't. I don't know. Yeah, nobody. I don't think anyone. AOC, I guess. has
AOC's
a
got a
good-
great hairline.
She's got a
He's
great
got-
hairline.
He's got fucking shark teeth. That's a-
Are you? Come on, you would.
I mean,
Oh,
I have.
AOC?
No, I have stuck my dick in a couple of shark traps, but I don't know what the fuck. What's
So
the
you're not
safe-
allowed at the aquarium
Yeah,
anymore.
well, what's the safe word with AOC? Papaya? I don't know how you say that with a mouthful of cock.
Did they all work for the government?
No. One word for a hospital. It's all right. She's engaged to a pedophile now. It all
She
worked
could
out.
treat your injuries while you're, after your tryst.
Yeah, put some
True.
put some Neospore over those fucking shark teeth because I know there's bacteria all over them. I know how to pick them.
Hey, never mind.
Oh,
Keep it.
yeah, but no, I mean, I say Mitt Romney had the as probably my best hairline in politics right now. I don't know what I don't.
It's
Is he
pretty
even
good.
still in politics? I don't even know what that guy's up to.
Well, he
these
just
days.
retired, so
Oh, he
he's
just
probably
retired?
not anymore.
He overdosed on magic underwear. They had to get him out of
I feel, like,
politics.
I feel like you're looking at me. You want me to pull it up?
Oh no, no,
Okay.
no, no!
Okay.
No, I-
You shook your head, so I thought you'd do something I didn't.
No.
That moves the needle for me even less than the presidency.
No.
if Mitt Romney's still around.
Yeah, I could care less. I mean,
Yeah.
relative, like looking back now at what we have for options, it's almost like, oh yeah, Mitt Romney, he was pretty cool. But if you go back to considering he was running against Obama, it's like, no, fuck him again. I wish I could vote for Obama a third time.
Yeah. All he does is make me acknowledge that Utah still counts as a state. And come on. Does it need to? Do we need Utah?
Great
No.
Salt Lake. What's so great about it?
It's bigger? I don't know.
big.
Is it salty?
It's pretty big.
Is
Salty.
the greatness does
salty.
the greatness have to do with the size or the saltiness?
No.
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe it's
not
just
a good question.
maybe it's just a great lake. Like everybody enjoys it.
It's not in that fucking. It's not in. No, it's not a Great Lake.
Well, that's how they get away with it. They're like, it's a great salt lake. So like, it's one of the great salt lakes.
I can't wait to go see the new Hugh Grant movie. It's
The horror one.
yeah,
Yeah, that
but-
looks good.
But the
Excellent
two
segue.
girls are from the
Yeah.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints.
Oh, okay.
I'd
There
like-
was a reason.
Oh yeah, no, I want to see if they're going to go all the way, and yeah, they might not
Soak.
make it out of that house.
Yeah,
no,
one might-
no
one might-
soaking.
One
No.
might jump on the bed.
You can't. Yeah, you can't drown anyone in the Great Salt Lake.
No.
You float.
So JD Vance did something.
Yeah,
you wanted
that
to
was a
bring up.
fun one, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
This is a fun quote. I don't know if you guys heard this. He said all the normal gays are going to vote for Trump. And that's a terrible thing to say, but I know exactly what he's fucking talking about.
That's the thing. You know what he's talking about, but it's like you can't say.
Gays who are only Republican. Are those the
I think he
normal?
just means the non flamboyant.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, gays who don't talk flamboyant.
Yeah, he means the good ones.
yeah. There's your broke gays and your well off traveling everywhere gays. And,
Right.
Yeah, you're
Jet setting gays.
Yeah,
affluent. Yeah.
the gays that God frowns at when he sends them to hell. Kind of like
Yeah.
he doesn't frown for the other ones, but those ones, it's like
There's gays that like Beyonce, and there's gays that like Cary Grant.
Wait, are
And
there
that's,
heaven? Do you think there's heaven gays and hell gays? Like
hell
some
gays
just
sounds pretty
spruce up
cool.
your heaven dinner party, and the rest because they just live in sin. All go to hell.
I think the deeper a cock goes in your ass, the deeper you go into the pits of hell.
My
Personally,
God.
like there's definitely some people in like Brooklyn bars that have been taking like 10 inches, and they're on the lowest level because they made Jesus cry the most.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I
all
didn't
right.
know that
That's
was
a direct quote from
Yeah.
Vance.
That's
I didn't know
This
we put it-
episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Everybody,
well, you weren't wrong.
I
Again,
know
a
Blue,
double
Kamala Harris.
I didn't know we-
double guess, always off the rails. I love this.
Yeah, I never knew that there was an actual inch value to the immorality of gay sex.
That's why if I want to experiment, I'm only going to the first level of hell. You only get an inch in there, buddy. All right.
Sure.
JTT.
I want the man in the big man upstairs to like think about it for a second.
All right. The big man upstairs doesn't want a big man downstairs.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
I mean the amount of trans porn I've jerked off to, I'm going to hell either way. But I would like to at least be in the conversation for possible purgatory.
Well,
Do you actively search out trans porn?
No,
Or
so
do you just like, okay, she could get like,
No,
because they
so
all have like the
trick
horrible
is you-
tit jobs.
you
I like
click
how
around-
direct that question
that was like hard hitting. Like Larry King.
The trick is you click around until you find a thumbnail that's vaguely ambiguous, and then you go, "Oh no, how did this happen?" And then you finish, and then you go, "Gosh darn it, they got me again."
Vaguely ambiguous is also how you like
that
to
takes
translate.
time now, yeah. Because I wanted to send a link of gay porn to someone once, but I didn't want to search gay porn. Because like there was one of those people that tag you and 99 other people in their comedy show flyer, even though you're not on the comedy show.
Oh, the worst.
So I was like, oh man,
Oh, you don't
If
like
you-
that?
No.
if you think these comics are good, here's some other stuff you can expect to see on the show. And then there's just a link for gay porn, which I think is, but yeah, it's a lot more direct to just search gay porn. I did try to stumble across it by
I never
accident.
met a comedian who's actually concerned with his search history. Before.
Yeah, I was gonna say that never occurred to me to be worried about it.
Well, no,
I
I
look at
realized-
cartel videos and I'm not even working on bits.
It's not so much people stumbling on my search, it's just my own well-to-do-ness, knowing that I've stumbled across gay porn versus actively. So that's
Sat
just
on
for
it.
me.
Stumbling,
It's-
there's nothing wrong with stumbling across a video. It doesn't mean anything, right? You
Yeah.
just stumbled upon
that's
it.
how I
or
wanted to
across it.
find it, so I
Right.
could link it on the guy's
And if you
thing.
come and go back and come again and again and again, then that's just
And
an
book-
accident.
yeah.
Put in your favorites.
Yeah,
You
right.
bookmark
Exactly.
it.
It's just right. Right.
But JD Vance calling out gay people is a bold move from a guy who wears eyeliner, or looks like he wears eyeliner.
Right. And if he was gay, he would not be a normal gay guy. So that's really fun to think
No,
about.
he looks like a mix of between a gay bear and a mime. Kinda. He's got the eyeliner on all the time.
Yeah.
Think about it. You
What
can
a
see.
combo.
Think about it. You can see him like building a
Gay
box
bear.
somewhere.
Yeah. He's
and
like
then drilling a glory hole.
he's like
He's
gay.
got my vote.
That's just because you hate women. But yeah,
I love glory holes.
in the men's room.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the wrong room.
You know what? No one complains about glory holes in a gender-neutral bathroom.
like
It's like a
I like a
Nickelodeon
toss-up.
prize. I don't know what I'm getting.
It would be
Turn this-
slime.
It was maybe in the 90s a Nickelodeon prize.
Turning this fucking
Oh, whenever.
Dan
I got it.
Snyder was on the
I
other
got it.
side.
just feel some toes wrap around your cock.
Yeah.
No, I don't like. Nah.
Yeah,
I
a piece
gotta
of the
draw a
awesome
line.
rock.
No foot play, glory hole. Bad night.
I'd almost rather feel like the tickle of a mustache on my cock than feet. If I feel toes on my dick, I'm going
That's a
soft.
nice bonus.
If I feel toes on my dick, I'm going soft. If I feel a mustache on my dick, I'll be like, finish up, all right? I am not happy right now, but finish up.
I want to see Otis Timlin on the other side when I look through that hole.
Oh, geez. Well, there you go. And Otis Timlin, another guest of ours who completely derailed the podcast.
What?
I didn't even want to know how.
Oh, it was racist stuff. You should have done
I'm my kind of man.
that.
Man after my own heart. The only difference is that when he says it, it's seen as quirky. When I see it, people think I have a red hat.
That's the double standard
you're-
right there.
He's
He's just
got
not black enough for that.
he's got racial immunity across because nobody can tell what he is.
What he is.
I'll believe whatever you say.
I will say this. I thought he was Egyptian when I met him. I was completely wrong.
I thought he was Cuban, actually.
Yeah, it's still a mystery. We still don't know what he is.
I can see both.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's got like that weird ponytail thing going on. I'm like, oh, now you're leaning into like somewhat Asian, like Southeast Asian. Like,
He's like a Chuck Norris villain now.
Yes, he's like a Walker bad guy. Totally.
he's our comedy villain nowadays. We need him to be going on Kill Tony sometime soon and completely derailing it like some people we know.
Yeah, we need more comedy villains. I mean, we have Tony Hinchcliffe now, but he's kind of a lame comedy villain. We need
isn't he your hero if the results come out?
He's not my hero, but it is probably the best story where a comedian that nobody really likes interpersonally, I should say that.
I want to ask you guys this because I was talking to VJ about this. I saw this I was in Princeton Record Exchange today, and I almost bought it because of how much I hate it. Billy Crystal's album Marvelous is the worst comedy album.
Really?
I was heartbroken when I heard that album.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
I've never heard it.
But you guys obviously
I'm
you know who
familiar.
Billy Crystal is.
Skits or is it skits or stand up?
It's a mix.
Ooh, no.
It's a mix together. It's
no.
half and half, and it's both are horrible.
I
But
just bought My Giant on DVD.
Billy Crystal is my comedy villain.
Really?
Oh man, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even watch City
I was going to say,
Slickers
does this affect your enjoyment of
Yeah.
Curly's Gold?
and I love Jack Palance. I can't watch that movie anymore.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know. You
It's
guys
the
fucking
worst
talk about
comedy
them.
album I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I might be the only person on earth who will say
And you plugged Richard Dweck's podcast earlier.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if Rich puts an album out, that's going to be the second worst. But Billy
only-
Crystal,
The only
right
album
now, is the
recorded via iPad.
worst. He said he put an album out, but it's on Spotify. It's just him doing a set in Dallas,
hey,
and
you're
it's
out of
off
town.
the phone. It's phone audio.
It's
It's not
all
a
phone.
professionally.
So
mixed-
you let one bad thing ruin your perception of everything else that a person's in?
It's the worst. Yeah.
I can't.
I can't watch anything he does. And I love
Depends on
that
how bad it
Marvelous. I
is.
love the Marvelous character.
Hey, I'm just saying. I've heard certain celebrities go on very long-winded rants about the Jews, but I will still watch them in a Mad Max movie.
I wasn't
Mel
in Mad Max.
Gibson.
And it was disappointing.
I'm just saying, separate. I guess that's not separating the art from the art if it's their art. But
Well, they separated the artist.
separate the art from the other art. Yeah.
Who were your guys' comedy villains?
Oh, that's a good question. Comedy
See, I don't get into all that.
Mostly local
'Cause he wants
comedians.
gigs
Well,
in the
it's
future.
local. It's not on album.
Comedy drama's an oxymoron, baby, and I will not fucking take part in it.
You were pretty
Is
good
it?
about that. You do
Yeah.
avoid
I don't
comedy
believe
films.
in fucking. I don't believe in a thing called a comedy community either. I think
Mhm.
we are a bunch of islands.
Yeah.
We don't fucking take everyone with us if we advance a level.
A
barely
rising
take anybody.
or a rising tide doesn't
Yeah.
It
raise
doesn't,
all
yeah,
ships.
it doesn't work. I mean, even I think we had Brett Ernst on like a thing in the studio, and he was like, "At the end of the day, this is a solo sport.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything with it. It's a
Yep.
solo sport."
You see someone
for
get
stand-up.
successful and they kind of like drift off.
Well,
and unless you're
what-
really, really close to
What about
them,
Greg
you
and
just
Rob
lose touch.
Cardizone? They're twins. They can't not.
Yeah, I would describe them as famous.
Yeah. The Verzi triplets can't get away from
I
each
love
other,
those guys.
but-
I've booked them.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
they're
you're
great.
you're
No.
a close person. I mean, obviously Gillis has elevated the status of like a lot of local comics here too, but like he's not responsible. Like we as Philly, like we gotta fucking win. No, you're still fucking.
We have
nothing.
to defend Shane Gillis.
We don't. I mean, I
We're doing this on election
It has
night?
no impact
Yeah,
on
so,
us
well,
in any. Like,
I'm with three non-voters here, so
Yeah, I
we're
guess.
going to talk
No, I
about.
voted for
shit.
Harambe.
Oh, that's right.
3
I'm sorry.
times.
Excuse me.
if you shit in one hand and tell people you're in the same comedy scene that Shane Gillis came out of in the other hand, you fucking have a handful of shit and nothing else.
Shane's in like a different. He's like so big now. He's in like rarefied air where he actually can help people. Like he could just put you on
Yeah,
his
and he did.
podcast, and and he helps. So
His people,
yeah, he helps his people,
but
right?
not
But
us shitheads.
Yeah, but
on
also
the
generally
ground
that
level.
doesn't happen. People that are making it not on their own terms like Shane is. They're making it through a system. They're either, acting or doing clubs or whatever. And they usually feel so precariously perched in that position that they're not going to help anybody because they're all worried if they give someone a hand down, it's going to pull them down. or they're going to lose sight of it or be like known as the guy that's trying to vouch for a bunch of people that aren't ready yet or whatever. So people like talk themselves out of bringing people along because they're just so constantly feeling like they're never where they need to be. At least in my experience from not getting helped out from people who are successful. But yeah, I think Shane is a little different because he does his podcast and he basically like runs Austin next to Joe Rogan and he can do whatever the fuck he
So
wants.
he's your comedy villain.
Shane?
No.
No. Maybe
We got off the top.
Rogan.
That's what I heard.
Maybe Rogan just because of like how up his own asshole he is, but I really can't even work up enough anger at him.
He's got a
so.
good hairline too.
Yeah,
But
he's
can
got a
you
good
not-
head. That's the one thing you ask for a bald guy. He's got to have a good head.
Can you not watch an episode of News Radio now?
Oh no, I love news radio.
News
It
radio is
doesn't
a great-
affect my.
Yeah.
And that's like
Fucking-
skinny
He had a
Rogan with
bad
hair.
hairline then.
Yes,
The
he
only
had
person
horrible-
that can ruin that show is fucking Phil
Andy
Hartman's
Dick.
wife.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman's wife.
Which was also Andy Dick, if
She's
you dig
my
into that
comedy
story.
villain.
That's good. That is a good comedy villain.
Yeah.
Andy Dick is a good comedy villain.
Oh,
In fact,
yeah.
I might adopt him as my
I
comedy
used to
villain.
love the Andy Dick show. Now
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
ashamed. About
Yeah.
it.
Phil Hartman's wife ruined The Simpsons fucking took a huge plummet
Yeah.
because of Phil Hartman's wife. News Radio fell off a fucking cliff.
Yeah,
Phil
news
Hartman's
radio
wife.
basically ended. Yeah.
I don't know what else. There's probably other stuff too.
BJ, who's your comedy villain?
I was gonna say Bill Cosby because I don't agree with rape.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh well, now we all look like
that's
rape
wow.
apologists.
Wow.
Like, but I mean, hey, Billy Crystal's a good choice too.
Yeah, he was not funny once. That's
Yeah.
that's raping millions of
That
ears.
album let me, it let me down because of the skit to comedy ratio.
28 victims, but also there were too many
That was
skits on
28
that album.
minutes.
Hey, he was in
Sketches.
blackface on that cover too.
28 victims. That's way underselling Cosby.
Was
Yeah,
it? I
for
thought it
real,
was.
yeah.
You're disbelieving a lot of women there.
Yeah, you're fucking
Well, I believe all men. So
My
You're
math
fucking-
is bad, not
you're
my.
distorting those numbers like a true Democrat. I tell you what.
You are 52 rapes short. of-
Wow, really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was going for the record. But I don't mean I would say Cosby comedy villain. No, if I want to
Okay.
be serious, probably Aziz Ansari, just because it just doesn't do anything for me. Probably a nice
Okay.
guy, just doesn't do anything for me.
I liked his.
So he's a villain?
yeah.
There's certain comedy I listen to and it hurts my ears, and that's him.
Oh.
He fell into like kind of a Hannibal Buress. Like I liked him because I saw him on Human Giant, which was like
Oh,
the
yeah.
MTV sketch show before any stand up of his. But he had like a Hannibal Buress thing where his early stuff is great, and then he got really famous, and then his comedy just became talking about hanging out with famous people,
Right.
and that
And his
I could-
cousin.
and then he put his fingers in a girl's mouth, and then he went back to his normal comedy. I thought that was pretty good.
Redemption arc.
Yeah. Celebrities shunned him because they're like, oh no, you
had a bad date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have a sexual experience.
Yeah, that must have been thrilling for you as your comedy villain to see that he came so close to cancellation.
Well, when I saw that he was accused of sexual assault, then I became a fan. But then I learned, it wasn't true, and
Right,
then
back to hating him.
Back to hating him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just a bad date.
I did see one of his specials. This is what turned me off immediately. He said something where he's like, I went to the sheet store. Man, they got a lot of sheets. And that was the whole
Oh,
joke.
Jesus
And
Christ.
I was like, all right, I'm done.
oof.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that.
That's
Yeah,
bad.
there's not a celebrity mention in that one either. That's
Like around like 2008. I don't know. It was tuxedo time. I think he was hosting stuff on MTV at the time, but that was enough for. I was like 16. I liked any comedian I saw at the time, but then I was like, and done.
I'm developing taste.
he because he played that character Randy in the Funny People movie,
Yep.
and then he was just like, "Oh, now I'm going to do this Randy character on stage,"
Forever.
and it was just him again. It was
Yeah.
the same fucking guy.
I disagree with the title. That should be called the Almost Funny People.
It was a regular Judd Apatow, so it was good. And then
It stopped. It went on.
What
Yeah,
happened?
it went
kept
on an
going.
hour too long.
what happened to the funniness?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was that might be one of the most frustrating movies I've ever seen because I'm like, it was so good for the first like hour, and then they just kept talking.
Yeah.
All right, we are at 101 to 71.
Okay.
All right,
Oh.
I don't know. Wait, is that like official? What? So are the ones that are dark blue?
Yes,
Are they
The ones that are in
decided?
dark have been called. So it looks like there's no surprises. It looks like all the states.
Oh no, New Jersey went Democrat again.
Yeah. So it's like
New
basically
Jersey's been Democrat for fucking
I know it's been like
years.
30.
the way it works is they're calling everything that they already know which way it's going to go. So Florida, some of those states you would never go to, next to the East Coast, Arkansas and all them. Then they call like the ones that like Jersey and like Massachusetts and things where they know there's no chance in hell of a Republican ever winning. They just go ahead and call those as soon as the polls close. So I think maybe, no, it looks like regular election results to me. Red comes in early on the East Coast. Then all that shit in the middle will turn red.
I'm telling you, I'm worried about Alaska.
Yeah.
How many electorals?
I think 5.
Something 5 or 3.
That's way too many.
Probably 3.
It's not many.
They're not that Inuit.
All right, well, it's time for the news.
Yeah, let's start the news.
I'm going to the news right now. That was fucking. That can't get any better. We cannot get.
All right. Hey, okay. This is the news segment. You guys know what's up because you apologized for not writing any news jokes, but you didn't have to. The news section for those watching at home. Why would you be watching the results of the election?
This is the real vote.
Yeah, this is how it comes. Dave and I have written 12 jokes about the news of the week. I don't know what he wrote. He doesn't know what I wrote. But if we have written a joke on the same news story, we have a joke off. Joking each other off.
Headphones this week, so I'm assuming you played the sound.
Yeah, he played it. He did the fist up. He did the like Mad Max like hold motion for us.
He did the Mad Max.
No.
I thought he was
That's,
doing the Trump post-assassination attempt.
oh, that's what it was. It was kind of like
That's
a
the new
fight
TikTok
on.
challenge.
Yeah. So anyway, that if we're having a joke off, we are joking each other off, and that means you guys decide which joke you like more, and
you
then
said joking each other off.
joking
And
each
then
other
we'll
off.
combine your answers into an electoral process.
Yes.
Oh.
And, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Where it'll go to the House for another vote. Okay. Dave, would you like to go first?
Sure. JD Vance swoops in for Joe Rogan interview after Harris team gets stuck negotiating. Vance figured if he wasn't going to win over the childless cat ladies, he can still reel in the pussyless man children.
Well, you're in the right place for that. According to a new report, Donald Trump's team has grown disgusted with him in the last weeks of the campaign.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently not only does Donald argue and not listen to his advisors, even his microphone blowjobs have gotten lazy.
We didn't talk about that at all.
I can't believe we didn't talk about that, but whatever. We'll get back to it.
All right.
It'll either be the how did he win after giving head to the microphone or, well, of course he lost. Yeah, right.
Of course he won.
Yeah. All right. Biden calls Trump supporters garbage during Harris campaign as VP tries to sell unity message. Spokespeople for Biden have come out and said that this was clearly fake news, as clearly someone at his advanced age would only use the term rubbish.
I think the correct term would be malarkey.
Yeah.
That was a throwaway anyway. That was trash.
This has probably happened already, but Kamala Harris says she will be sadly ready if Trump declares victory early on Tuesday. And as a Democrat, she is getting ready by immediately conceding defeat.
All right. Brett Favre endorses Trump. Quote, "How dare Biden call us garbage?" And in the words of his coach when he wanted to play injured to keep his Iron Man streak alive, "Are you sure you don't want to sit this one out, Brett?" Because he is fucking garbage.
Yes, he sure is. Donald Trump ends campaign by calling Nancy Pelosi a bitch.
Whoa.
Yeah, in a last-ditch effort to sway the election by finally telling the truth.
All right. Arnold Schwarzenegger endorses Trump. Sorry, let's start that over. Arnold Schwarzenegger endorses Harris while Buzz Aldrin backs Trump. Yeah, both legends in their own right, but the Harris campaign was quick to point out that the moon doesn't have a single three-titted alien.
I just watched Total Recall. It's
yeah,
It's great.
I was like, Dan Caprio this past week watched every single movie. That Load up the movie references.
True comedian, even on a podcast, he doesn't want to bomb.
That's right. It's pandering to the audience, even when it's two men. Gen Z voters commit to canceling out their parents' MAGA votes in a new viral TikTok trend, the kill your dad before the election challenge.
All right.
I'm winning.
LeBron James endorses Kamala Harris for president. He said it's what's best for the country, and also, can his other son get a cabinet position? Not an important one, but maybe something further down the bench, like Secretary of the Interior.
Shock poll has Kamala Harris within striking distance of Trump in Kansas. Experts say it comes down to turnout between unlikely groups of voters. Will the Gen Z children of the corn overwhelm the strength of baseball-playing ghosts who are probably rapists?
Damn it.
Thank you.
Fucking
There you go.
movie references,
Double reference
yeah.
right there. Double movie reference.
God
There
damn
you
it.
go.
How do I
There
fit
you
a
go.
movie?
Watch every goddamn movie.
And
last
that's
week.
Infield the Dreams to James Earl Jones.
You got it.
Rest in peace.
Fucking scrolls Dave's top 50 every fucking year and goes through the whole list.
I didn't see either of those movies referenced. All right. Jake Paul endorses Trump in fiery video torching Biden-Harris administration.
Oh.
Yeah, Paul going after the Biden administration further demonstrates that Paul only likes to beat up old guys who've been out of the picture for a while now.
That's good.
It's a good one. Ohio sheriff in hot water after Facebook post saying, quote, "If you support the Democratic Party, I will not help you." End quote. Yeah, it's crazy. Officials say this is all a misunderstanding, as residents all know that if you live in Ohio, even God is unwilling to help you.
Somebody who was just in Ohio.
Yeah, right. It's just a sad place.
Never seen somebody's stomach tattoos in my life. Fat bitches at Walmart in a tube top with the Sistine Chapel on their tummies.
Oh,
With a
God.
Now I want to go back. Hulk Hogan slams Biden for appalling insult against millions of Americans. Hogan was disgusted, stating, "Saying a word like that can be hurtful to an entire group of people couldn't be me."
Brother.
Okay, I got a tag on this.
Different ER word.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say that. What does he says his apology, brother?
China declares success as its youngest ever astronauts reach space.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the first ever rocket loaded completely with unwanted girl baby.
Liked it. Liked it a lot. Jerry Seinfeld criticizes elite school for giving distressed students time off after election. Yeah, he said kids are soft now, and that back in the day, kids didn't get to miss school for distressing things like your candidate losing or getting statutory rape by a 38-year-old comedian.
I was waiting for that turn.
You knew it was coming, right?
I built it up too much.
You knew it was coming like Seinfeld to a graduation day.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. All right. U.S. intelligence says North Korean troops are fighting for Russia in Ukraine.
Mm.
Yeah, these troops are dangerous, especially because if they end up eating a bullet, it will be the first meal they've had in weeks.
All right. RFK Jr. says Trump administration would advise against fluoride in water. Yeah, RFK's aversion to fluoride gives it a strong chance that he'll be the second Kennedy who leaves a bunch of teeth scattered all over.
I'd like
That's
to point
good.
out
What a
Our-
visual.
That's good.
with the worms in there, RFK, third most brain damaged Kennedy in the family.
That's true.
Need to remember John and Rosemary.
And I'll just skip to this joke. It's not a joke off, but while we're on the subject,
Yeah.
Cheryl Hines reportedly planning to divorce RFK Jr. after election.
Huh?
Yeah. The good news is that even after losing half of his brain worm in the divorce, it will grow back into 2 brain
There
worms.
you go.
So
Robert. Iran student strips in protest over strict hijab dress code.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't that out of the ordinary, though, as college is the place where a lot of people get stoned for the first time.
IKEA will pay 6 million euro to East German prisoners who it forced to build their furniture during the Cold War. This landmark ruling opens the doors to trillions of dollars in lawsuits by ex-boyfriends around the world. Because we've had to build. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 2 more. Nice. Convicted killer clown released from prison for murder of her husband's then wife. Yeah, and although she had no accomplices, when they opened that door, 80 other clowns also piled out of the jail cell.
Yeah, I like it.
It's cute.
Yeah,
It's a cute
it's
murder
cute
joke.
clown
yeah.
murder joke.
Yeah.
All right. The deaths of 10 newborns in Turkey shakes citizens' trust in the Turkish healthcare system. The good news is that the harder your trust is shaken, the quicker it eventually shuts up.
I thought we don't call it turkey anymore.
Turkey.
Turkey. All right. Here. Soccer player killed by lightning strike during match in Peru. Yeah, and when the smoke cleared, the spot where the player was standing was replaced by a giant hole.
Yes. An act out.
You got the rare Dave act out.
I got the rare. I love it. They made my whole election night.
That's the only thing that'll.
It probably is the only good news I'm going to get all night. My last joke. Elon Musk suggests that Chick-fil-A be put in charge of the southern border. Yeah. Yeah, this opens the door. This opens the door to America's radical new policy, Immigration Sundays. Because they won't be open.
Have a blessed day.
Oh man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, Dan, you laughed more, so you get to do plugs first.
Okay. Utterly ridiculous. My special that VJ helped me produce, film, edit the audio and video. You could check out the video on his YouTube channel, Backwards Entertainment, and also on Spotify, Apple, anywhere where you can download music.
Cool. What do you got going on, VJ?
This is live, so if you have any shows coming up this
shows
week,
in the area,
any slam poetry,
I will
contest?
plug the Ugly Pancake Festival down the Jersey Shore this coming Friday. I can't remember the venue offhand. Maybe VJ can help me out.
Is it on your Instagram?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
Okay,
check
cool.
my
Just hit
Instagram out. Just at Daniel Caprio. I got both flyers up there, and the ticket link is also on there as well. 12
Coming
comedians.
prepared.
12 comedians.
Went
What a
too
show.
far.
Yeah.
You oversold. You oversold.
Oh no, you get a dozen comedians versus
much
5
time?
or 6.
Yeah, how much time are they all doing?
We're doing 7 apiece.
oh, that's not so bad.
It's the best number.
Yeah, that's not bad at
Mhm.
all. VJ, what do you got going on?
Well, first, let me start with my other plug.
I remembered while he's doing that open air brewery.
Open air brewery.
Yes.
Okay. All right. VJ has a manifesto.
Please.
Kamala Harris is a role model for all Americans
That's a plug.
and deserves to be a leader for all of us because look at camera. The future is female. Take that, Bill Clinton.
Okay. Thank you for that very organic and not at all sponsored by a political campaign statement.
I also have, I'm on the show with Dan on what was it? Was it Saturday?
The Pancake
Friday.
Festival.
Friday. Friday. I got stuff in New York next week, and I got something in the Meadowlands the same week. It's all on Instagram.
Hopefully not as disappointing as what usually goes on in the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
Horse racing.
I'm not going to indulge. At VJ Preziosi comedy. They're not giving him any more attention. I'm done.
VJ Preziosi Comedy. You can see all of his stuff there. Dave, what do you have coming up this week?
First of all,
And
follow me on
Alka-Seltzer.
everything at Dave Prim Comedy, and don't forget to review us on Apple Tunes, Apple products, so that you can be in the running for a free Weekday Comics shirt with our silhouettes on them.
It could be,
Who
their
would
logo.
want that?
Right.
And I will be at Souljal's this weekend on the Late Show with Jay Yoder, completely above board when he booked me on it.
Yeah. At my mother's funeral, he books me on this thing. Jay books Dan at my own mother's funeral, books him on a show, doesn't book me. What the fuck's up with that?
Well, that's
Anyway.
really annoying because now you're down one guest. That's fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, and we're down one listener. We're down one live listener. So we've got
Sorry.
problems,
Yeah.
man. We've got
So
problems.
come out to that late night show. I need it to go well, so there's no crisis of conscience.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's going to be industry there.
Oh, Joel.
Does
Great
Dave need to
guy,
bring
great
up his
Yeah, no,
heritage?
Joel, we like Joel.
And soul.
We all like Joel here. I will That's where I'll be too. I'll be crashing Jay Yoder's show to
I
yell
will
at
be
him
drunk and yelling.
and to demand that he give me a guest spot. And to totally leverage the death of my mother to do that. But yeah, that's all I'm doing. I don't have anything planned. I will be coming to grips with the existential dread of the next couple of days. If you need to find me, I will be probably in a anxiety-induced panic attack.
Or Bar 13.
Or Bar 13 getting drunk, depending on what happens with the election. I'll be getting drunk either way.
That's going to be interesting.
I mean, drunk and arguing with Luke Kincaid.
Oh,
yeah. Well, it's funny. Luke today, he was like, I'm feeling the same dread you are from the other direction. I was like, well, Luke, you're a black Republican, so you should feel a different type of dread. Sort of like an imminent, oh fuck, what did I do dread.
And half Italian.
Yeah, that's true. He's
mighty strong stance to have with those pogo sticks he calls legs.
I always said he looked like Tiny from Devil's Reject.
Yeah, that's right. Luke Kincaid, friend of the show.
He's got the legs of that guy from Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Good drop. Good drop.
Taking off. All right.
That's all right. Neil, what do you have going on?
No, it's all good. Yeah. Just make sure to like and subscribe. These guys, you can go over to drop10.com and jump onto their page. And you can get to all the links that we talked about here, the email.
Oh, cool.
All that stuff is there. So you can go and listen and subscribe, all that stuff there. Okay. And like I said, we're going to pick one out. I haven't received any messages as of yet. Actually, you guys should just email them over at the weekdaycomicspod@gmail.com. If you did send a review over for 5 stars, just email a little screenshot over. We'll put you in the running, and then we'll pick out somebody to send a t-shirt to. It's pretty easy. So go do that. And you can check out all our shows over at Biggest Little Comedy. We have Myers Brewing Company coming up for November and December. And, of course, Wissahickon Brewing Company in December. So go check those out. You can check me out at I Am Neil Wood for all my stuff. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
We'll be back next week with our first Philly's Funniest winner.
Oh, wow.
We got Joe Murdoch coming in. Love
It's going to be a fun
Murdoch.
one. Yeah, Joe's great.
And thanks again,
Yeah,
Veej
thanks.
and Dan.
Thank you, guys.
Of course. Thank you for having what he said. What he said, except slightly more racist.
From California.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in.
That's literally the only reason you came.
Yeah,
here.
we
flying
appreciate
right
that.
out of
And we
here.
appreciate that. Catching the red eye out after this. And we appreciate that. And you can catch us next week at 8 on Tuesdays. Goodbye, everybody. Well, there we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
Hey, how you doing? This is Neil Wood, one of the co-owners of Drop 10 Media Network and who helps run Biggest Little Comedy. You can check out all the other stuff we do at drop10.com. We've got podcasts, live comedy shows, and so much more. Go over there, support your favorite podcasts, follow them, subscribe. We appreciate it. Again, we're 100% DIY, just a bunch of creatives trying to make it in this.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.